Yeah, kind of interesting. I think you watched it and you're like, all right, this Malik Cunningham guy, he was really good in the preseason. He flashed in week 1. Could they keep him and make a project out of him? And it was like, all right, Bailey Zappi, like, it's him and Mac Jones. Those are the two guys. Hell, we went into training camp thinking that Bailey Zappi was going to be pushing Mac Jones in that room, and it's been Mac the entire preseason as a starter getting all the first-team reps. So when Bill decided to cut both of these guys, I started to think, I'm like, all right, what could Bill be thinking? I tried to put myself in Bill Belichick's mind. And if Bill's sitting there, he's saying to himself, all right, who are the guys out there that I may want to get? So I was like, all right, let me start to think of the veteran quarterbacks who got released in the league over these last 48 hours, or whatever you want to say. And you're like, all right, maybe he's looking for an upgrade on Bailey Zappi. Bailey Zappi didn't have a great preseason. So then you start to go down the list, and it's just like you're on like a dating app or something, and you're looking at somebody's profile, you see a name, you see an image, and I'm like, all right, Trevor Siemian, all right, he was cut and Browning got the second job over him. Maybe they didn't want him there. P.J. Walker seemed like a perfect fit in Chicago in the same mold as a Justin Fields. They kept the D2 quarterback over him. Tim Boyle, good friends with Aaron Rodgers. Maybe you bring him in. He knows a little bit about the Jet system. Will Grier was absolutely fantastic in Dallas' last preseason game. And then obviously Colt McCoy is Colt McCoy. And I'm like, maybe it's one of these guys.
Grier was just picked up by the Bengals, so he's off the list now, Will Grier. So
right there.
You're down to 1-4 more now.
You're going through the speed dating, you get up and they're like, I just found someone in the next go-round. So you just get up and you switch chairs. And as I'm looking at that, I'm like, I don't see it. I don't see Bill going for one of those guys. There's a few young guys that were released, like a Tommy DeVito with the Giants, but you have a young Bailey Zappi, so why trade him in for another young guy? So it took me to the point where I'm like, Bailey Zappi's coming back at some point. This is no different than 2021. Mac Jones becomes a starter, Cam Newton's released, Brian Hoyer's released, and then Hoyer's brought back the next day on the practice squad eventually to be elevated. Yes, they're gambling a little bit here. Bailey Zappi could get picked up on waivers, but I think this is a move where they're trying to do some other things on the roster. Some other guys might have had to make the initial team, then placed on IR, PUP, where they can maybe come back later on. Not PUP, IR, come back later in the season. I expect Bailey Zappi to be back in the building and to him be Mac Jones.
I'll put my hand up and I'll say it straight up. I didn't watch the 2.5 games of Patriots preseason football. I saw highlights, I watched a couple, but you were there watching every single snap.
Yes.
To a man, Bailey Zappi was not good.
Not good. No.
And I've heard, and this isn't, we're not opening the show with tearing down Bailey Zappi, a former fourth-round pick. But if they're going so bold to say we can cut our backup quarterback, and we are so confident that if one of the other 31 teams pick him up, God bless him. Well, if you're Bailey Zappi, why do you want to go back there? If I'm Bailey Zappi, I'm like, get me as far away from that situation as possible. I'd be embarrassed. I'd be insulted. And I'd say, clearly, they think pretty lowly of me that in my second year in the NFL, after I started
Monday Night Football.
Yeah, I came in off the bench and tried with chants and cheers. If I'm that terrible that they'd rather have the scraps of another team, then why should I be there? So I'm curious to see the Bailey Zappi part. But yeah, everyone on Twitter was like, well, they'll just bring back Bailey Zappi and he'll be on the practice squad and they'll bring back Cunningham. If I'm Zappi, do I want to go back to there? If I'm the Patriots, that is some statement to say, you're like, there's other positions we need. We're bringing back eight linebackers. We can't have a backup quarterback. You can't. I think that Belichick does things on his own way and does it on his own path. But like the Zappi topic, I never expected us to start a show in late August talking Bailey Zappi. But at one point, does the player look at the Patriots and say, what? There's other teams. Bailey Zappi could be on a practice squad somewhere else. I'm sure he could find a way. I'm curious if Bailey Zappi gives them the stiff arm and says, you know what, I'm not going to come back tail between my legs and say, yes, sir, may I have another. I'm going to say, no, go find another backup quarterback and then see what their plan
Peter,
is.
is it cheaper to do it that way? Why this form of business execution? No.
They want to get extra positions. They don't want to lose extra players. So you can only keep 53. So if you let go of a backup safety that you really like and you think another team will pick him up, well, then you'll keep the backup safety. But in this case, they're like, if 31 teams want Bailey Zappi and they want to offer him a little bit more on the practice squad, go right ahead.
Their thought is there's not going to be another team that's going to want him.
Wow.
Well, if you're
but for Zappi, if there's no opportunity that allows you to be the second-string quarterback,
I guess you're right.
It's like, all right, do I go somewhere else and, you know what, I'm just going to be the practice squad guy and there's two guys in front of me.
He can't be the second quarterback for the Patriots if they are so bold to say, we're going to cut you.
But wouldn't that qualify for Malik Cunningham, too? Doesn't it work for both
He's not ready. Yeah, Cunningham's not ready. He's developing.
I mean, you're saying, well, Belichick does things his own way. I mean, like, that's the understatement of all time.
Yeah.
Like, this is a full Logan Roy, I don't care.
Matt Jones is a tackle away from being out.
I know. But I think he's looking at Zappy and Cunningham, and Belichick's like, I love you, but like you are not serious people. Like he just says it straight to him. That's like the ultimate cut down. Listen, if Mac Jones is good, and there's the two patriarchs, we're spending a lot of time talking about who his backup is. Hopefully it doesn't matter. Who cares? He doesn't get hurt. He's good. I think it's almost an indictment of Mac that we're like, whoa, you're letting go of Bailey Zappi? Like, do we talk about Justin Fields' backup? Jamie's going to later because that's an interesting story, but not from the football sense. Peter, I'm going to put you on the spot. Let's see.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence. Do you know who his backup is?
Who?
I bet you don't.
They just cut Nathan
I know
Rourke.
it.
Do you?
CJ Beathard.
It's CJ Beathard, yes.
I know they cut.
But we're not like, who's Lawrence's backup? But we're like, we better have somebody from Mac because we were having many conversations here about like, Bailey Zappi might be the better guy. We were into all that stuff. I mean, everybody in the world got excited about Malik Cunningham a couple of weeks ago. Tom just called him a sensation because he was running around a little bit. So, listen, Mac should hear this. Like, there's a lot of things aflutter about who's behind me, and it's not because of my health. I think it's a little bit because of how good I am. I really do think so. And listen, Jason, to your point, we know somewhere that they need a watchful protector and a dark knight, and somewhere Belichick is like, just get me Hoyer. What's it going to take? Get Hoyer's ass back here right now.
Where is
Trade
Hoyer
some
now?
pick to the Raiders.
He made the team?
With Jimmy. So, like, Belichick's probably just wants Hoyer. And
maybe he's just waiting. Aiden O'Connell played really well for the Raiders.
Yeah, he did.
He did. But there's a Belichick hubris. I'm going to go on record. Like, I think I said yesterday, I think the Broncos are the most mysterious, interesting team in the league. It might be the Patriots.
Might be.
The fact that they're like, we got a game in 20 minutes, just clear out the room because we'll just throw it to Mac and we'll be fine. He's extremely mobile. He'll never get hurt, and he's rock solid as a player, so just clear everybody out. We're not even going to carry a second quarterback. Who cares?
Do you think when the season starts and they play the Eagles, is Bailey Zappi the number 2?
Yeah, probably.
Who else? To Jason's point, who else
like
would
he
you
brought
go
up
with?
those lists of names. Like if they're bringing in Trevor Siemian now, just learn the offense. Oh, Mac went down in the first series. Trevor, see those banners up there? You're the guy now.
Guys like that. I don't think it's going to be guys like
crazy.
that because they're going to demand a veteran minimum salary of $2 million. Like PJ Walker was making $2 million from the Bears. Tyson Badgett is going to make $400,000, and that's like little, but. They're not going to give some big contracts.
But Belichick wouldn't even talk in the offseason that, like, Mac is your quarterback, right?
I know.
And he wouldn't talk on it. It's almost like he's making the statement about he's literally my quarterback and my only one. Clear everybody out. It's an unbelievably strange thing. Most mysterious team in the league is now the Patriots over the Broncos.
Okay, so I was going to ask you that. You guys have been on the show now 7 years, and you were around the Patriots, and both on the team and when your brother was there. Is this, maybe not comparison to another team, is this the most mysterious Patriots offseason in recent memory? Because this is, I continue to say, like, after the draft, whatever, like, do something that convinces me you're showing us what your identity is going to be. And this does not qualify.
Well, we've had that offseason. Remember when Belichick went shopping and was just buying every tight end and everything? He's like, we're going to have tight ends and run the ball. Hunter Henry. Yeah, and then that they showed us. Didn't really work. And now I don't know. I know they're going to try to play a lot of defense, Jason, and run, I guess. But first and 10 at the 25 for the Patriots in like 12 days. Like, what are they doing?
There was that offseason after Brady where it was COVID year and it was stiddy, and then they're like, we're going to go sign Cam Newton.
Yes.
Like, we're going to go with Cam. That was interesting, too.
Wow.
There's no Stidham or Cam Newton backing up Mac Jones right now.
No, there's nobody.
Stiddy's backing up Russell Wilson.
Stiddy had a game, too, the last season.
I know.
Stiddy talk!
I know. How about it?